and housed somewhere for months until the last day of production. Since the $12,000 production budget didn't allow for a studio, one was improvised out of the star's one-car garage. The garage was cleaned out and made a working studio where the sets were painted and constructed. Luckily, Sal Ormond, the star and chief set builder, worked in construction. Walls were made of inexpensive thin wafer board. You have to remember, sets only have to look good, they don't have to be functional. These wafer boards were painted different colors on each side, so they could be turned around and become the walls of a different set. Costumes were ordered well in advance of production and tested on camera before production began. 18th century costumes were mostly bought, not rented. In the long run, this saved money and work. Patterns and fabrics for military uniforms were bought. A seamstress was hired and total costume cost $1,400. Here, the Mad Wolf costume is tried on Kimberly King. The fact the eyepiece was too tight for Kimberly's eyes is pointed out, which was fixed before shooting began. Glenn's script didn't call for the Mad Wolf to be caped. Associate producers Sal Ormond and Donna Drake felt otherwise. Variations of the cape were tried out. The mask was modified, and stunts were tried out. Now, falling backwards may not be a wild stunt, but look how many real-life injuries came from just tripping on a step or a curb. Luckily, Sal had stunt training, and he instructed Kimberly how to fall safely during the gun battle sequence. There would be plenty of bloodshed in Mad Wolf, so the old tried and true formula of red food dye and corn syrup was used. Drops of green food dye is added to darken the blood. Spray-painted tissue around a stretched wire hanger was used for a prop tree branch. Sal went by photographs of the 18th century pillory to build the stockade used in the film, and it was modified for safety's sake. Again, the rule is the set or prop does not have to be functional. Days before shooting, touch-up work was done on the set. Normal wood paneling was used for colonial hardwood floors. The cost of the sets came out to about $300. Glenn used the finished sets to test different lighting strategies. He achieved the colored lighting effects by using colored gels. A set of 5 different colored gels should cost no more than $25. Glenn enlisted a group of people who reenact Revolutionary War battles, the Huntington Militia. They stage reenactments in town. The filmmakers worked hard not to include nearby roadways. The filmmakers followed the militia during the biggest reenactment as if it were a documentation. Any militia member or anybody appearing in the film had to sign a talent release form. This legally protects the actor and producer against piracy. There was a real Colonel Benjamin Thompson during the Revolutionary War. He did build his fort atop the tombstones at Huntington's burial ground. Since this cemetery was a local landmark, the producers talked Town Hall into removing litter and overgrown weeds from the cemetery. This served two functions: to help preserve a historic site and to benefit the production. Sal Ormond made the pillory collapsible so it can be easily transported to the location. The outdoor scenes were scheduled to be filmed first. In case of rain, these days can be replaced with inside shooting, with the exterior scenes scheduled later. For gunshots, firecrackers were used. During post-production, sounds of musket firing were dubbed over the simple firecracker pop.
Good. Hold it. Careful. Okay, keep the film rolling.
Okay.
We're rolling.
Action. Okay, and action.
Go. You shot my foot! Yes, I am ready.
Okay. And action.
All was going smooth until it rained on days scheduled for outdoor shooting. Luckily, an interior set was on hand. The schedule wound up being rearranged, but not delayed, which could be costly and lead to further scheduling conflicts with actors. Everybody on a small budgeted film has to wear many hats and do many jobs. Actor Sal Ormond decorated the table settings. Actress Donna Drake had to coordinate the shoot, and director Glenn Andreev had to be his own camera and sound crew. This trio took advantage of rehearsals to work the bugs out before any videotape rolled.
What would you say is your function or functions on the film?
Well, I have several functions on the film. I guess my least important one to me is the acting part of it. And not that I don't do it well. It's just that there are so many other things that I am learning while I'm working on this that are more important to me than the acting. Because the acting, either you can act or you can't act. And the more you work, the better you get at it. But the technical things like special effects and stunts, you really, unless you're good and you know what you're doing, you don't get a chance to do that on a movie set or on a quote-unquote high-budget film. And with the ability to use some creative ideas that I had and getting the freedom to experiment on this independent film, I would have to say that those are the most important things for me. Right now, I guess we're